Good, happy Wednesday morning, March 17, 2021. And happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Wednesday morning, so let's begin. First up, let's take a look at your COVID-19 numbers in New Hampshire. And here is a look at those COVID-19 numbers in New Hampshire. There are 79,070 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. There are 1,202 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire, and there are 66 current number of hospitalizations for COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And that is a look at your COVID-19 numbers in New Hampshire. New vaccination scheduling system launches today. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Summit Packaging Systems is hiring for all shifts. Summit knows stability, security, and growth are extremely valuable. You'll develop skills to succeed and earn steady income and benefits. Apply online at summitpackagingsystems.com/careers today.
The new state website goes live at 8 a.m. Wednesday. Goodbye to the federal VAMS site. Hello, VINI. That stands for Vaccine and Immunization Network Interface.
This is a step-by-step overview of how to register and schedule your vaccine.
A tutorial offered today for those in Phase 2A eligible tomorrow. School and childcare staff along with youth camp workers. The new system will ask you to create an account, screen for eligibility, then email you a link to your appointment options. If you have trouble navigating, 211 call takers will now be able to help schedule, reschedule, or verify appointments.
You'll be able to choose through a host of appointments, or there are going to be a lot of appointments available. And then once they get their appointment, if they got to change it, they can go right in and change it as well.
Thousands of school employees already got their vaccines through closed sites in the past week. The state estimates 25,000 more people will go through the new state website to make appointments during this phase. And anyone in Phase 1B still wanting an appointment can also use the new website.
Every eligible person in 2A should be able to get an appointment in March and get through that, so we can move to 2B in beginning of April.
A web team will be standing by when VINI launches in the morning. Jean Mackin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Irish pub plans for St. Patrick's Day, 1 year after COVID-19 shut down. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Summit Packaging Systems is hiring for all shifts. Summit knows stability, security, and growth are extremely valuable. You'll develop skills to succeed and earn steady income and benefits. Apply online at summitpackagingsystems.com/careers today.
A year ago tonight, dining rooms were going dark, with months of uncertainty looming over the pandemic. But on this March 16th,
a lot has changed, mostly that we're allowed to actually open, which is nice.
Neil Brown is co-owner of the Shaskeen Irish Pub. He says they took a big hit last year when the plug was pulled the night before St. Patrick's Day.
It's our Black Friday. I mean, it's the month itself is a very big one for us, and that one day alone can amount to, a couple of weeks worth of regular business hours.
In Nashua, concrete barriers are up outside the Peddler's Daughter.
We have extra seating tomorrow that the city gave us at last minute, put it out on Monday. We just furnished it all up this evening, and we're going to be ready for outside dining tomorrow.
That will add to their capacity. They have 5,000 pounds of corned beef in-house, 30 kegs of Guinness. Tomorrow they open at 8 a.m. Nashua public health officials say businesses have been key to helping take care of the community. They're asking people to enjoy responsibly tomorrow to avoid a spike in positive cases.
We're not against St. Patrick's Day celebration. What we encourage is for people to just do it safely with the regard of knowing that, you know, we can pick the virus up pretty easily, especially if we're not fully vaccinated.
Business owners say they're more than ready to welcome back customers.
They're excited to come back, and God, we're so excited to welcome them back.
We're coming to the end, slowly but surely. There is a light at the end of the horizon.
And COVID guidelines will be followed with mask wearing and distance tables. In Manchester, I'm Charisse LeClaire, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Moderna announces vaccine trial in children to determine effectiveness and safety. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Summit Packaging Systems is hiring for all shifts. Summit knows stability, security, and growth are extremely valuable. You'll develop skills to succeed and earn steady income and benefits. Apply online at summitpackagingsystems.com/careers today.
Moderna's newest trial is called the Kid Cove study to see if the COVID vaccine is safe for children 6 months to 12 years old.
We might be able to see more normalcy in our life as this pretty key portion of the population is vaccinated.
Nearly 7,000 children will receive 2 doses of the vaccine, which is being made in partnership with Lonza and Portsmouth. Participants will be monitored for 1 year.
To make sure that, number one, there's efficacy all the way out at 12 months, but also to continue to monitor for side effects, because that's probably one of the biggest concerns in children, that they might have more of a reaction. At least so far, the benefits far outweigh the risks of reaction. And a lot of times the reactions that people have are simply just the immune system activating.
Doctors say the vaccine will be crucial for young kids, even though they are less likely to contract a serious case.
There are children, though, who are medically vulnerable and would be at increased risk of dying if they contract COVID-19. So even just having a vaccine that's available for them to get vaccinated now, like we're vaccinating other highly medically vulnerable people, would be fantastic.
As we wait for approval, doctors are asking families to take precautions.
The recommendation is certainly to keep wearing masks, follow all the protocols, social distancing, and use an abundance of caution when gathering with especially older or sickly family members.
Doctors say we could see vaccine approval for kids as early as this year. Reporting in Manchester, Kristen Carosa, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. State health officials investigate COVID-19 outbreak associated with wrestling tournament. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Summit Packaging Systems is hiring for all shifts. Summit knows stability, security, and growth are extremely valuable. You'll develop skills to succeed and earn steady income and benefits. Apply online at summitpackagingsystems.com/careers today.
Well, Tom, DHHS wants to notify people who were at that tournament at the Rim Sports Complex in Hampton on that day to monitor themselves for symptoms. So far, they have identified 19 cases of the virus. They do expect that number to go up. They're also reaching out to people who they know had close contact with confirmed cases. About half of the cases identified are people from New Hampshire. The others are from other New England states that participated. Now, this was associated with the King of the Mat wrestling tournament. In a post on their Facebook page a month ago, they asked people to quarantine ahead of the event and get tested 3 days prior. The Rim Sports Complex in Hampton says the wrestling promoter contacted every program and official who was involved that day, and says they've disinfected the facility, adding they have worked tirelessly over the last year with the New Hampshire Task Force on proper protocols for amateur sports.
So wrestling itself is a sport that would lend itself to easier COVID-19 transmission because of that close contact. It's a contact sport. And so it's certainly higher risk for COVID-19 transmission.
And they added that the AG's office is investigating whether proper mask use was enforced there. Reporting live, I'm Charisse LeClaire, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. 6 arrested by federal agents in New Hampshire in connection with alleged virtual currency scheme. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Now more than ever, we are mindful of keeping things clean and safe, especially in our homes. A Kohler touchless.
Well, this home here behind me is one of 2 locations here in Keene that were raided by the FBI and several other law enforcement agencies. Investigators also swarmed the Bitcoin embassy on Route 101 in Keene. The U.S. Attorney's Office says 6 people were indicted by a federal grand jury in New Hampshire and charged with participating in a conspiracy to operate an unlicensed money-transmitting business. They have been identified as Ian Freeman of Keene, Colleen Fordham of Alstead, Renee Spinella of Derry, Andrew Spinella also of Derry, Aria DeMezzo of Keene, and a person named Nobody, formerly Richard Paul, who is also of Keene. According to an indictment, the alleged suspects have run a business since 2016 that allowed customers to exchange flat currency for virtual currency and charged a fee for the service. More than $10 million in exchanges were made. Authorities allege that the individuals knowingly operated the business in violation of federal anti-money laundering laws and regulations. Now, Freeman, Fordham, Renee Spinella, Andrew Spinella, and Paul were also charged with wire fraud and participating in a conspiracy to commit wire fraud. Reporting in Keene, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Thornton police shooting deemed justified, Attorney General's office says. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
What is there not to love about Franklin Pierce?
The Pierce Promise New Hampshire Scholarship Program is new at Franklin Pierce for high.
Officials from the New Hampshire Attorney General's office say Thornton police officer Matthew Yao was justified in using deadly force when he shot and killed 37-year-old Ethan Freeman last October.
All the other evidence gathered from the investigation supports the conclusion that Officer Yao did reasonably believe that he faced the imminent use of deadly physical force from Mr. Freeman at the time when the officer fired his pistol.
At a briefing on Tuesday, officials analyzed body cam video from Officer Yao that captured 3 separate interactions between him and Freeman that day, including the fatal encounter at Freeman's apartment. Officials say that the body cam was critical in this case since they were able to match what the officers said to investigators with what was actually seen on the video. At the apartment, officials say Officer Yao encountered a naked, bloody, and irrational Freeman who, while inside, was holding a broken piece of furniture. In the video, Freeman threatens to kill Officer Yao, jumps out a window, and, while unarmed, advances on him.
Officer Yao believed that when Mr. Freeman, who he heard had threatened his life, ultimately reached him, he would attempt to take his gun and shoot him.
Officer Yao said he didn't have time to holster his weapon and switch to a non-lethal form of defense. Prosecutors say Officer Yao had seconds to react, and what he did was within the law. In Concord, Andy Hirschberger, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Four women shot and killed at Atlanta spas. Let's take a listen to that video from CBS Atlanta.
Let's go now to CBS 46's Zach Summers, who's live at the two scenes on Piedmont Road.
And Zach, what are you learning from investigators?
Yeah, well, as you can see behind me, police continue to work those separate scenes directly across the street from one another. The killer shooting 4 women dead inside 2 spas here on Piedmont. Tonight, authorities connecting the dots in the massage parlor shootings in Atlanta and Cherokee County. In Atlanta, police were called to the Gold Spa on a report of a robbery around 6 p.m. Once inside, investigators found 3 women dead.
While at that location, we received another call across the street and shots fired.
The gunman, identified as Robert Aaron Lang, is believed to have crossed the street, killing another woman at aromatherapy. Investigators say all 4 victims at the spas in Atlanta appeared to be Asian. However, Atlanta Police Chief Rodney Bryant said during a press conference it was too early to tell if they were targeted because of their race.
We do have some witnesses that were in the location or around the location.
We just heard numerous gunshots coming from across the street.
Nasarima Marcel works at a club near the 2 spas. She knew some of the victims, who she says were dedicated workers.
I won't say any names, but they're really nice girls. They just do great massages. They do great massages over here, so it's just unfortunate.
Now, shortly after the shootings here, police here in Atlanta went around to other spas in the area just to check on them. They've also increased patrols here. You can expect to hear more from Atlanta police about Long's connection to the crimes committed here tomorrow. Live in Atlanta, Zach Summers, CBS 46 News.
Zach, thank you. Governor Brian Kemp reacting to the shootings with this brand new tweet in just the last hour. He says, quote, "Our family, the entire family, praying for the victims of these horrific acts of violence. We deeply appreciate the quick apprehension of a suspect by Georgia DPS in coordination with local and federal law enforcement."
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for joining us for this morning edition. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.